Hello, everybody. This is Brad Bolenbaugh of Apostle Games coming to you live from rainy and muggy North Carolina of the United States of America. With my daughter going back to school, we've been hard at work on some new features on Age of Tribulation. So come on in and let's check it out. All right, guys, so here we are with devlog number 20 here in the month of August, and we are going to be covering towns and environments this month. I'm super excited about that, but before we get started, I have a couple pieces of news here. The first one being that the kids are back in school. Yes. Very excited about that because they're learning and I get to develop Age of Tribulation. So that is good news. Also, this month is Age of Tribulation's 3rd birthday. Believe it or not, I've been working on this game for 3 solid years now. I haven't been playing video games. I've just been spending all of my free time making this one. So that's really exciting. The last piece of news, and this is the most exciting, is that this will be the last developer log for a while. I will not be putting one out in September because in September is going to be the private beta test signups, which is going to be really exciting. We're going to be putting out a form that you guys can fill out and email to apostlegames@mail.com if you are interested in doing a private beta test. I'm looking for approximately 10 people or so of different genders, different age groups, just to kind of, get their hands wet with this game. Nobody has ever played Age of Tribulation except for personal friends and family members. So I'm really nervous and excited at the same time about getting that out and getting this into the hands of, I guess, strangers or fans for the very first time. So I'll be talking a lot more about that next month. And so look for that. All right, guys, so here we are in King's Landing. We're going to go ahead and start here. And as I mentioned earlier, this entire devlog is dedicated to the new details that are going into the towns and the environments, and along with the interiors of buildings that I have completed so far. And this whole video is going to be me just walking around and telling you all the different stuff that I have put into the game. And of course, all of this is going to make it into the final demo release. So for those of you who have been watching over the years, King's Landing, of course, is the first town that you're going to be walking into. And I've added so much detail to this. I don't even really know where to start, but let me go ahead and get my mouse out here. So the first thing you might have noticed is that there is now a horse stable over here. So we'll go ahead and just kind of walk over here. I have also not only included the horse stables, but the tails here are also animated. And there's shadowing and different kinds of lighting and all that stuff. And later on in the game, I'm hoping that for like a fast travel system, you can actually buy a horse and your horse is going to be here in between these two horses. So I kind of reserved a spot here for those. Some more details also that I've put in is you're going to notice a lot of different, man-made objects have creeper vines growing over. So you have all these different kinds of like creeper vines that are all over the houses and all that stuff as well, which I think adds a little bit of detail. Also, you're going to notice there's a lot more trees that come up through the walkway. I did a ton of extra, different kinds of like little bushes and trees and all that different kind of stuff. Another thing that I did, which I think is really cool, is that I have completely revamped all the collisions. So as you can see, you can now walk up to this tree and actually go even behind the tree and hide. Every single tree and every object in the game is now done in this way. I've also completely reshadowed everything, meaning some shadows you will not be interacting with, kind of like these. You can kind of see there's a little bit of shadow along the side of this house. It no longer covers you, but if you come over to this tree, let me go around this fence here, and I don't know if you can see this on YouTube, but when you step under the tree, your character actually has the shadow underneath it. So you actually do interact with the environment in that way. Some other objects, kind of like the collision thing I was talking about with the trees, you can now go behind the house, and that before you couldn't do that. It would actually block you because everything was on one layer, but now everything's on so many different layers that you're able to go behind a lot of things that you previously were not able to go behind. Let's see here. And a lot of this is still the same, but you can kind of see there's creeper vines just all over these houses. And some really, really cool detail I put in here. Let's go ahead and walk out of King's Landing, and then we're going to come back in, and hopefully there's going to be a crow standing there. And there is. So I've added some different kinds of details, such as this crow. Sometimes when you walk into the town, you're going to see like an animal appear, and this crow is going to squawk at you. He's fully animated. You can hear him. And it just like, it's really neat because there's proximity sound that, you know, depending on where the crow is, you actually hear him or don't hear him. In fact, he's going to fly away here in a minute. Yeah, there you go. And you actually heard him take off, and there he goes. He flies away. So this crow will randomly appear throughout King's Landing, and just to add a little bit of detail, I think is really, really cool. Over here, as you can see, we now have a chicken farm, and that chicken farm also has proximity sound. So as you get closer to the chicken farm, you actually hear the chickens squawking, and, you know, kind of like the horse stable and that crow over there. Another thing that I've added, which I think is really, really cool, is the vendors that sell food, like in the taverns. They now, the kinds of food that they sell is going to directly tie into what type of farm is in that town. So the fact that there's chickens and there's a chicken farm here will directly influence what he sells, such as chicken like drumsticks and what is it, like a chicken breast and omelets and all sorts of different kinds of things. So I think that's really cool. Galetown now has a pig farm. So guess what they sell? They sell a lot of pork products like sausage and pork and, you know, barbecue glazed ribs and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Another thing that I've done is kind of like what I did with the collision and being able to go behind objects. I've also done that in here. So you can see I can actually go and walk behind the tables here. And also, because there technically is flooring down here, every interior now takes that into account, and you can actually go up and go further down to the edge of every interior. So I think that's like a really, really cool feature. In fact, these barrels you can see are stacked up against the wall because you're able to walk past them now. So another really, really neat feature. And I actually did that with all the interiors. Let me go ahead and show you the new room.
What?
Oh, he's taking my stuff. I need a place to stay for the night. And he says that's fine. Here's the key to the door by the fireplace. Lock it back up and don't make a mess. So this is another feature too, is that now when you go to a tavern and you rent a room, let me see here, let me go to my satchel, you actually receive a key. So now you have a key to Morty's room. And what's so cool about this is you can come over here, and tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. at sunrise, you will have to give that key back. So once again, see how I can walk behind the wall here, which is really cool. Another really cool feature is that you can now drink the wine in the rooms. So it says, drink a glass of wine. Well, yes, I would like to drink a glass of wine. And it actually increases your cups count. And different taverns, depending on the quality of the tavern, will give you higher quality wine versus lower quality wine. And then over here, this tub, which used to not do anything, you can now wash yourself. And you can actually hear it, and you actually restore some of your life points depending on the quality of the tavern. So I thought that was really, really cool. And so we come over here to the bed, and it says sleep until 6 o'clock in the morning. You're going to slumber for the evening. And when that's done here, it says how much you restored. You come down here, and you currently need to give that key back. And if you don't give the key back, like if you walk up to Morty right now and try to talk to him, he's going to take the key back. But if you're like, I'm going to be clever, and I'm not going to do that, I'm going to keep the key so I can stay another night, con artist little me. As soon as you try to leave, it says you return the room key, and you can hear it actually leave. Or you can hear the key actually go away. And if you open this up, yep, the key's gone. Haha. So we got that all sorted out. Let's see here. We're going to... Now, I think you guys have already seen the guild office in King's Landing. That's not new. Man, it is really foggy this morning. I don't know if you could tell. Those are the new weather effects in the game too. But let's go here to a new vendor. This is the general shop. This is called Edna's General Goods. Let's go in there. And this is a brand new shop you guys have never seen before. And so we're going to walk in here, and there's Edna. Now, here's another thing that I also started working on, and that is separate rooms inside of places. So because the door is shut here, you can't see inside this room. So any room that you do not have access to is now going to be blacked out. And if you walk and you try to get in there, it says enter the chamber. Yes. Okay, the door's locked. You don't have a key. But if you were to walk in here, as soon as you open the door, all this blackout would disappear, and you'd be able to actually walk into that room. So that's another thing. That's going to come in handy when you're doing like quests and stuff, like in old cathedrals or crypts or caves and stuff like that. That's going to be really cool.
Hello.
So this is a new NPC. Her name is Edna. And yeah, we won't go into this portion of the game. I'll let you guys figure that out. But yeah, this is Edna's new shop. All right, guys, so we just whisked away over to Galetown. This is the new and improved Galetown 2.0 with all the new details, and you can see all the creeper vines are over here. And then, of course, we have another horse's stable, and I made sure to leave one spot open for your horse that you will be able to purchase later on. That is not going to be in the demo, by the way, horse purchasing and horse riding, but that is something that I want in the game. And then over here, as you can see, this vendor here, you were not didn't have all this detail and you weren't able to go into, but this is a new shop. This is Basil's Assorted Wares that we can now walk into. This is completely done. As you can see, you got all this cool stuff that you can buy, and you got some nice detailed lighting, which I think is really, really cool in here. And this is Basil. He is an old man with some really cool looking glasses. He's absolutely hilarious, by the way. I think you're going to enjoy talking to him, but possibly later. And then again, you're able to walk under here. And yeah, I just absolutely love the lighting effects in these new environments. So we're going to go ahead and walk out of Basil's Assorted Wares. And let's go check out the new windmill. This windmill is going to be a future quest location. This is a supposedly haunted windmill here. It's covered in spider webs, and it's got creeper vines all over it, and it just looks very old and weathered. And I think it'd be really cool and by the way, you can go all the way behind it, which I think is awesome now. But this is definitely going to be a quest arc, and once you complete the quest, I won't tell you, like I said, it's haunted, but I don't want to give any more away about it. But once you restore and figure out what happened here, this is going to turn. And I think that's going to be a really cool detail for this town. So let's keep on walking down the path in the new Gale town here. And we walk over here. By the way, I also put new standing torches and wall sconces. And I also made new fire sprites as well. So over here, this is the new guild house, or guild office, excuse me. We'll go inside. It looks a lot like the other one, but there is a different vendor over here. Of course, there's different items. as well.
How
But
can
this is
I
a new
help you?
NPC that I'm working on right now. His name is Skilled, and he's actually pretty friendly. He's a lot nicer than Leoric is, who works in King's Landing. But we'll go ahead and leave out of there. As you can see, this is a new addition. This is a pig farm that I was talking about a little bit ago. And what I love about this pig farm is not only does it have ambient sound, it's fully animated, but this pig farm has flies. You can actually hear the flies. You can see the flies. It just looks disgusting. I think it looks really, really cool. Kind of livens things up. And over here in the inn, they sell a lot of pork products, which is really cool. This is a boat, and this is eventually going to give you a ride to different locations by sea, which is going to be really, really cool. And let's see here. Now Galetown also has a town bulletin that you can go to, where you can select mercenaries. View the town bulletin. Yes. That opens this up right here. And you can open up the... see all the different mercenaries that are hiring right now, and we're going to go ahead and pick a stalker. And it says you've selected a mercenary to hire. Go to a guild office, and then I can hire a stalker now. Of course, that's not what this video is about. There's the town campfire. This is the new inn. It's called the Siren's Song. Yes, I've been very busy making all this since the last devlog. This over here is Lavina. She is not a nice lady. She's going to have her own story arc that I'm not going to tell you about. But Lavina is not nice, and I'll let you guys figure out when you play the demo just how rude she is. And then this is the door that you're able to rent. Of course, I have not rented it, so I can't get in there. And then this is a second room, and someone very important is going to be staying in this room. I'm not going to tell you who. But you can't get into his room just yet. But this place is cool because it has dual fireplaces. It looks really cool when it's lit up at night. You see all the fire coming out, from both sides. And then let's see here. We're going to go ahead and leave the Siren's Song Tavern. And there's one more place for us to visit, and that is the mayor's house, the manor lord, the baron, if you will. And this is going to be his house, and I have not created the interior yet for that, because I don't know if I'm going to let you guys go in there or not for the demo. Eventually, I will. But as you can see, there's new details in his house, too. He's got big bushes and creeper vines and all that good stuff. And then there's not a whole lot going on up here, but I think I'll show you anyways. And yeah, that's it for Galetown. All right, guys, so here we are in the last place I wanted to show you, and this is King's Forest. And I've removed all the enemies so that I don't get attacked when I show you guys this. But I have completely redone the house. The end boss for the demo, his name is Brutus. And this is Brutus's hideout. He is the leader of the bandits, and you can kind of see here with the new detail, he's been stealing a lot of people's stuff. There's barrels and boxes and even this... what is this? Food and wagons full of stuff that he and his men have stolen. This is his hideout where he lives. It's got giant spider webs all over it, creeper vines. I mean, it just looks really, really old. And let's see, enter Brutus's hideout. Yes. But no, we cannot get in because we do not have Brutus's key. That's going to be a quest item. But the reason I'm showing this to you guys is because the inside of this house, which I call it the murder house, and if you get this far in the demo, you're going to see why. It is absolutely disgusting, the inside of this house. There's just blood everywhere. There's body parts. There's pentagrams on the floor written in blood. There's altars with candles that are fully animated. I mean, this is like, there's like jars of hearts sitting on a table. Like, clearly, these guys are more than just bandits, but I don't want to give away the plot line. But let me just say, this is not a great place to be in. And I have to say, out of all the interiors that I've made, Brutus's hideout is by far the one I'm most proud of. because it's so incredibly disturbing. This game deserves an M rating because of this house right here. So, yeah, I don't want to spoil it. I really want to show you guys the inside of this house for the devlog, but I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to show it to you, but you're going to be very disturbed when you guys see it. All right, guys, so that completely wraps up devlog number 20. Again, I am not going to be releasing a devlog next month in September, but instead we'll be having the private beta test sign-up sheet. Again, it's just going to be a quick questionnaire and, asking some questions to you guys, and I'll be picking around 10 people that I feel would do a good job. For those of you who do a good job, your name will be in the demo credits, and that'll be your thank you and your reward for helping me out with that. So expect that next month. And as of right now, the demo is on queue for being released sometime in the month of December, and I'm super pumped. We're right on schedule. If you think this project looks awesome and you want to support us, wishlist us on Steam, join our Discord, engage with me, the developer, and I hope you guys like where we're headed, and I will see you next month. All right, God bless. Rad out.